Slamja Kim Khong Sai, lecturer of Home Science. In continuation of Unit 1, today we are going to deal with Subunit 2, which is Developmentals of Adolescence, which comes under Know Myself. Under this subunit, it includes individual difference due to heredity and environment, social needs of adolescents, preparation for career, marriage, and family life. All these, it is included under the development task of adolescence. So let's come to development task of adolescence. When we say development, that means it is a progressive changes, or it is an ongoing process. In comparison to growth happens within a certain limit of age, whereas development, it occurs throughout one's life. And according to Havikhurst, he classifies the task of adolescence in terms of peer influence, movement towards independence, autonomy, and the attainment of ethical code and system of positive values. Havikhurst, he is an educator, and in his book of Human Development, he mentioned that the task of adolescence, that means the duty of adolescence in the stage of adolescence period, what does one goes through? It goes through peer influence. The nature or the way of behavior of an adolescent is highly influenced by his peer group. That means highly influenced from his friend circle. And then later, he will be able to go through self-identity search, and then he will be going through movement towards independence, which means that an adolescent in a younger stage, they are dependent to their parents. But once they attain the adolescent stage, what happens? They become dependent of themselves. They are no longer depending to their parents. Now they know their responsibility, they know their duties, and so likewise, they are becoming an independent individual. And then autonomy, that means governing oneself. That means the things that he will be doing, everything which is in the younger stage, it is controlled by the parents or the elders of the family. But in adolescent stage, what happened? They are becoming matured, and likewise, he will be able to govern his way of living. And then the attainment of ethical code, which means that the things which we do or the situations, according to the situations, he will be able to understand what is right and what is wrong. And he will be able to inculcate the various positive values of the society, which is taught by the parents, which is taught by the family members, as well as the members of the society. So Havikhurst, he said that the responsibility of an adolescent is in terms of peer influence, movement towards independence, autonomy, and attainment of ethical code and system of positive values. And in one's life, mioiba khudimagsi akhoigi punsidasu yengakanda, everyone, they have their own responsibility, everyone have their own duty. Sumai tawdana adolescence ki stage tasu masasida adolescence ki stage ni haina, it doesn't stay stagnant. They have to go through various duties, they have to attend various responsibility. Only after that, what happened? When they reach the adulthood stage, they will be a responsible and a successful individual. Let's go to the important development of adolescence. And then during this adolescent stage, what are the various developments that an individual go through? What happened in this adolescent stage? They are becoming matured, and they are able to establish a positive relationship between the age mates. That means those who are in the same age with the individual or with the adolescent, and he will be able to adjust well with both the sexes. That means whether it will be male or whether it will be female, they will be able to adjust their relationship accordingly. And then accepting and achieving a masculine or feminine social role. Now what happened? They are aware of the various moral values, behaviors, and likewise Accordingly, the individual will be able to exhibit or will be able to execute his responsibility in the society accordingly. And then accepting one's physique and using the body effectively. Sisi the kedawi adolescent stage here, especially in the late adolescent stage, the child is already matured physically, mentally. Mature or abanina kedawi physique the mature or say we are able to utilize our body to the maximum. Angang macha siga those who are below the age of 10 aduga chahi 20 york pa angang se comparison tarakanda what happened 20 years ki angang se masa se fazana mapung fana develop tora abanina they will be able to utilize their body to the maximum in comparison to the child who is just 10 years of age. And then selecting and preparing for an occupation. Now what happened? In the last class we had said that in the late adolescence, they are becoming mature. They are able to know what is right and wrong. They are able to know their duties and responsibilities. Sisi the kedawi moi sinamakok se karida khandarai thadarai harakanda moigi career, moigi occupations kwa. Ozikidi modi adulthood ki stage here abni maturity stage here abnina what happened? They will be able to think what they are going to take up in their future life. Okay, what type of job, what type of professions they will be taking up. This it has come to the sense and to the mind of the adolescent. And likewise, when they have taken up the responsibility and when they have taken up the proper professional line, what happened? Stable stage here. Next they go to the next stage. That is preparing for marriage and family life. Okay, when they are able to sustain their life, they will be now trying to go through the next life cycle or next phase of life, that is the marriage life, and they are trying to establish a new family. And then what happened? Adolescents, they will be having the needs, the desire of achieving what? Socially responsible behavior. That means society na yaba matung ina behavior or norms or values si mayam si inculcate toraga masagi behavior matung ina mold toraga smaina they have the what happened? They have the desire, they have the needs of imbibing or having all these good behaviors so that they will be well accepted into society, they will be appreciated by the member of the society. Next, let's go to individual differences. What do we mean by individual differences? Individual means myoba khuding magse yingakanda akhoigi khetnaba mayam nei kwa macha macha da yarba haidi akhoigi hair color, even the color of the eyes, akhoigi height, akhoigi weight si mayam si panarka yingnarka comparison toraka da khetnaba mayam leri se prithibi manung sida not even two individual, they are of the same they do not have the same characteristic. Nature, behavior, that's why we said that we all human beings, we are unique in nature. We all have our own characteristic. We all have our own values. We all have our own nature. So individuals have our physical abilities, mental abilities, and then the way we deal with the society, the way we deal with the family members, the way we deal with the situations that comes up in life. The way of solving problems, it is also different. So that's why in this universe, in this world, there is no two individuals which have the same characteristic, who shares the same thing in their genes. And even the siblings, they are the offsprings of their parents. Offsprings what happened? The genes they carried by the offsprings, it differ little by little. Even that also, it shows that we are all it shows that we all have these individual differences in us. So this lack of similarity between human beings, between two individuals or between the individuals, this is known as individual difference. Now, let's come to the next point, that is differences due to heredity and environment. Hojiki khitnaba ahongba macha da khitnaba harise karigino maram se thigalakanda, it may be due to heredity. One factor is heredity and the other factor is environment. First, let's come to heredity. These are the traits which are transferred from parents to offsprings. For example, the intelligence, the color of our skin, the features, height, weight, color of eyes, and mental ability. All these are the traits which is transferred from the parents to offsprings. That means if you are born from a family who has a high IQ, that means the offsprings also have a high chances of having high IQ. And the color of your parents will be a deciding factor of the color of the offsprings. Likewise, if you're coming from a very obese family, that means the offsprings or the child, the unborn child or the child who is to be born has the chances of having this obesity because there are the genes which is transferred from the parents. And then during puberty spurt, time of maturation is also determined by heredity. The rapid growth and development, or in the earlier class we have talked about early and late mature. Likewise, all these things, it also depends on the heredity. If the parents are of early mature, then the child has the chances of attaining maturity at an early age. And then temperament and personality are influenced by heredity to some extent. That means that if you're coming from a family, the family that you come up, if it is from a temperament, that means ang khatna chaina ganba imungdagi lakpa oitaragadi, what happened? These genes, the parents' genes, it will be transferred to the child, and the child also have these senses of yam ganba. And then they don't have the senses of controlling their emotions. Aduga yam ingtapa and then yam na passionate or oiba parents singse. Kay dawi angang moigi offsprings isu they have this moigi genes transfer toraga. Even the child will also have a very calm sensation and they will be having a very passionate nature. And then the personality. Aduga akogi mioiba amagi sak takpase. Kay dawi it is also dependent on the heredity. So we have talked about heredity, and the other factor which causes individual differences is the environment. When do we say environment, what does it mean? The environment means the place where we stay and then the surrounding things which is surrounded by the individual, that is known as the environment. Environment plays an important role in creating individual difference. Heredity the genes sina maram oidana genes angang sida from parents tagi offspring sida transfer torpay matung ina ko adumain tawdana environment haibasisu huziki individual difference sida yamna maru oiba role mapai ko. Aduga sometimes in spite of having potential, the child is not able to take advantage of them due to unfavorable environment. Aduga angang macha sina kedawi masasi the skills, potential ko yam laser su kedawi mana leiriba environment na jaga chadraga di kedawi. The child will not be able to develop the potential to its maximum. Aduna hamper toraktoy ni ko. Aduna environment, hari se karamba environment no har kanda ahan bazina family environment ni. Individual difference goes there is a family environment. If you're coming up from a very warm, caring environment, if your parents are very supportive, and if your relatives are very supportive to your needs, and if they are very supportive to the talent that you have, to your interest, what will happen? Nasagi kedawi, talent may ang potential say it will develop to the maximum. And then even though nangi talent to na yam na well developed hotna taragasu kedawi, if you're not surrounded in a good environment, if your relatives are not supportive, yam sida biraga itinangangbi ba taragadi kedawi akoy si pukning pitay ko. And then at that time, what happened? Our potentials will be hampered and it will not be developed to the maximum. And sometimes it will lead us to depression. And then the other factor is, one factor of the environment is also school. Akoy na tamraiba school. School ge environment na su yam makha yam poli akoy ge individual difference. Kay gino har kanda, if you are going to a well established school ko school haibisu khetna ba yam lay school khara sida kedowi they are mainly emphasizing on the child, or sometimes they are mainly emphasizing only on the curriculum, or sometimes the school they get emphasized only on the good students ko asmaina school ge administration su tungali aduga the way they brought up the students is also different. Likewise, school it is also one factor which also causes individual difference. Next is our peer group. Peer group hai taragadi kedawi adolescent stage manung desu adolescent stage sida kedawi we tend to be encircled with the friends that we like kwa akoina pamba manaba mayam se akoi se pulli kwa pulli group to akoina peer group na khangnei aduga peer group sina ju maram oidana akoi gi individual difference mayam se le kamaina no har kanda if you're surrounded by good friends kwa nangi friends yamna supportive oraga aduga like the thawai yam yauba na jaga yamna mannerful oiba angang siga nang pun targadi kedawi it will be developing a good environment and it will be developing a good way of nangi moral value agadra ethical value agadra phajana develop tawang amdoini ko aduga in among the har kanda nangi peer group sina ko yamna ngausan na ba oi targadi na sana yam phaba mi oizarga so what happened when they do stuffs which is not good ko isagi damakta phattaba hachangi damakta phattaba mayam torakanda kedawi isana tawnindraga su peer group na pressure pirappadudagi yausali ko yausanbadu kedawi it will affect the body yarba. Likewise, it will affect our way of behavior. Smile to the akoina apawami oizaragas akoina mirakta tiliba friendship circle no phatta taragadi what happened it will be our lost. And next is the social and economic status. Social economic status it is also one big factor which is one part of the environment which is influencing the individual difference. Huziki social and economic status yengakanda from a well yamna lingba imung sidagi kwa yamna lingba imunga yamna poor oiba family comparison torakanda individual akhetna ba yam lay kwa kaygino ha kana yam lingba imung dadi kaidawi they are able to provide the best of the best in terms of food, in terms of clothing, in terms of education. Sise panarkanda comparison torakanda karamba zina stable oini yam lingba na jaga yamna established well established oiba kwa sigi social economic status ta lay ba mi singsa the angang do dui condition do the develop targadi what will happen he will be able to develop his potentials my skills mayam so opportunities mayam se provide to be abinina they will be able to develop to its maximum asom duna kedawi poor family dadi potential lasergasu interest lasergasu skills kayam lasergasu what happened when the families are not able to support them to the maximum kwa moi sida food clothing education basic necessity of an adolescent kwa simyam se provide to bibang amdra kanda kedawi even skills lasergasu it will not be able to develop. Okay, so in comparison to this, social and economic status is also one factor which causes individual difference. And then the neighborhood, okay, the place where we stay and then the locality where we stay is called our neighborhood. Even though if you come up from nangi imung duna yamna well mannered oizaraga yamna caring yamna supportive oiraga so if your neighborhood na leriba mafam dugi locality duna yamna khatnagan ba kwa aduga yamna irang thokpa mafam oraga and then supportive oidaba kwa mi manungda maningda wayam ngangan ba kwa sigi society backbiting society oitaragadi kedawi you are not able to develop your interest kwa si miyam si develop to bangamde kwa so even neighborhood it is also one important factor. So when we say the environment it doesn't mean only akoina leiba mafam du jaga du da leiba akoi bida leiba du khatta nati kwa environment har kanda family gi su oirak pa yai school peer group yani kwa social and economic status and then neighborhood si mayam se pull up ta punsilaga it comes under one head of environment. Okay, next let's go to social needs of adolescents. Miyoi ba se akoy se ithanta hingbangamde we are social animals. Likewise, adolescents hari sisu akoy na harami dune adolescents manung sida there is various stages na jaga various development that needs to take place during adolescence. Yani kwa adaga huziki development mayam se social development, emotional development oigadra kwa si mayam se natraga cognitive development orgada si miyam se kamaina mapung fana development cha thabang amduinu har kanda when the child is exposed or when the child is able to explore the environment or when the child is able to expose to the society ko society dugi norm society dugi values moral ethical value mayam se angang du na tapna tamaga aduga society gi chatnabi mayam si yenga kanda tapna my behavior se mold toraga aduga angang adolescence se socialize or tabangang se kedowi they are very arrogant masa mathantegi khanjaba ko and then they are not conscious of others opinion so socialization it is a very needed thing for an adolescence not for an adolescence but for every human beings socialization it enables adolescents to adjust their behaviors accordingly yani ko huziki socialized society the involve or paangang se kedowi they will know the various norms na chaga moina situations ama tho aga problem ma tho aga emotions ya moina yamna sauzaba moida yamna lanna haibira na chaga maral sibirba or aga kwa they will be able to adjust the emotions accordingly kamaina aga sauraga khudakta hekta sauba uppanna taba accordingly coolly they will be able to cool down the situations and then mana lanba mana chumadu tapna and the convincing nature se leidoini angang sida kwa and then preparing oneself to be tolerant observant consistent with hanba and then to encourage the growth required for them to achieve adulthood as smoothly as possible mioiba amase citizen amase responsible successful citizen ama oi haise kamaina akoina tak pangamdoi no ha kanda angangsina behavior haya aba they are very obedient or aba and then able to behave according to the likes of the society aduga yam consistency leiba kudak sarga kudak harau nuk panataba consistency leina and then mase kedawi they all these things masase inculcate torakanda the child will be able to develop or the growth and the development that will take place in the individual or the adolescents it will be to an optimum. So it enables a child to explore inborn talents, abilities when given opportunities. Sida kedo we have the socialization or kanda na traga akoina society, akoigi society so akoina club organization mayam lay sida moina pangtho iba sports oigadra literary meet oigadra everything si mayam sida kedowi angang sina yausala kanda kedowi they will be able to explore their talent haidi lecture pangtho iba na traga seminar pangtho iba na traga sports ta akoi mioiba khudimang si individual ngasai individual difference haido khara sina kedowi they will be interested in sports some will be interested in literary likewise smana kedowi matung ina society na involved to haliba na traga society na huziki opportunity mayam provide to birise angang sina khudong chab se lokhatlaga sisi degi kedawi they will be exposed to the various opportunities when they are exposed masagi talent to masa na explore torani khangdok pangama doini adudegi su akhogi profession na traga akhogi isagi career su semkat pangam doini and then when they get exposure to multi cooperative and individual working environment as well as skill exposure to let them identify both the interest and growth in those areas. When they are involved, socialized or aganda, they will be exposed to various opportunities. Opportunities mayam lebasidagi kedawi angang du na masagi interest, angang du na masagi skills, potentials tigapangamdoini. They will be able to explore masasi kadi the interest lay no khangdo pangamdoini. Khangdo pangamadu kedawi they will be molding their profession, they will be molding their talent accordingly. Smart to na mapung faba nyoba ama oiba ngamdoini Next, let's come to preparing for career. Career simba haisi amna maru oibani myoba khuding maki even for myself, even for you, angang macha oipadigi akoina su adum hangali angang macha su nang cha kanda kai oiningi hangali So it is also an example of setting a way of preparing for career nebuko. Aduga career haise yenga kanda adolescent stage iti amna challenging factor amani. Kagino kanda hujikta adolescence manung sida akoina career akogi profession phajana khandok pangam taragadi we will be satisfied. We will be satisfied with what we choose. Aduga akoina sida khanma sida lalama ba soirama ba. What will happen? There will be dissatisfaction in our job. It is an unavoidable important task for adolescents. Akoina like tamiba ang macha oibdagi tamna like tamtara ise kagino ha kanda akoigi career profession semna bai damakta ko adumain todena hojiki career haise adolescent stage manung sida avoid to yadraba factor makhalamani And it is also the duty and the responsibility of the adolescents. And it is an important step in identity formation also. Hujiki akoina career khaliba, akoigi profession oibai matung inna mi oiba amagi masa masagi identity society na identify toriba mawong zu tungan doini. So career hai ise akoigi identity formation makhal amani hai. And then akoina career se kamaina choose to we har kanda, we choose it according to our choice. Akoigi apambay matung inna akoigi capabilities matung inna, akoigi interest, akoigi potential, akoigi skills si mayam se khandaraga adui matung inna akoigi career se akoina choose story. And then next also let's come to the reasons. Another reason is also for economic stability. Akoina like tamtamaga lakpase kaigino har kanda future da akoi se mioba ama oina yamna successful oina ba economically yamna stable oiba kanamta da depend to dina isa se dependent oina hingba ngamna bai damakta suni aduga social prestige akoina thabak inkhang chauna pai targadi kedowi we will be respected by the society. It is also for social prestige and then self expression and internal satisfaction. Ngasa hire mi duni akoina career se akoigi profession akoina apambai matungina khan taragadi what will happen akoi se mapung fa ba mi oiba natraga akoigi wakhal da ju penjaba leibado satisfaction aduga akoina thabak inkhang se sura kanda we will be able to do our work to the maximum. Akoina pena susuba ngamdoini. And then satisfaction of social service. Aduga akoina thabak toriba suriba mayam se kaigino hakanda it is for the betterment of the society. Admai to dana akoina career se akoigi interest ki matung inna capabilities matung inna smaina akoina khamanga magadi satisfaction layerni aduga akoigi society gi share da su akoina pangthokpa mayam su akoina pena mapung fana pangthokpa ngamdoini. Okay, and then the adolescents must critically explore all the avenues available to them by collecting the necessary information required for different profession. Aduga hujike adolescent stage manung sidadi kedawi it is a very challenging stage oi aduga we are not exposed to various things. So smai oidena hujike career semba manung oibanina kedawi we should be able to collect information. Information se karino har kanda akoina pamiba profession if you want to be a doctor you are supposed to consult a specialist doctor specialist smart an engineer pamodi engineer gi line smana if you want to become an artist maina masa masa gi line gi matung ina information se collect toba information mayam se collect toba matung da kaidowi we will be able to explore isana interest or se karamba line dano karamba profession dano haibdo akoina thiga pa natraga explore toba ngamaktoi se only after getting the proper information hujiki akoigi adolescence manung sida akoigi chatna bisi yengakanda hujiki career guidance career guidance se kedowi akoina yamna serious oina loram da way matung ina kedowi class 11 12 loisalakan sida akoina karamba line chatuino haise yamna confusing stage ta yorai adoi mota kedowi starting from adolescence young adolescence is tapna information mayam se collect orga whether from magazine or whether from journal gossip mayam se collect to matung da kedowi 11 12 or akan sida we will be able to get the various information fangba matung ina kedowi we will be able to take up the right profession. Okay, and then for preparing a career plans aduga hujiki akoigi career plan to gi hai taragadi karamba step lo khatpatai makhai step si yensi adolescence ina career plan toba manung sida karamba steps lo khatuino ha kanda they should work out small exercises on the following lines makhagi piriba line sings and natraga makhagi piriba steps sing se lo khatpa darkar tai first they should list out list torani kai list tawduino ha kanda akoigi strength kai sida akoina jil le natraga akoigi sina karida sothai haibise akoina list torani and then list of job options aduga job ki availability mayam se job ki options mayam se akoina ikhalani whether it be painter artist whether it will be a doctor engineer or various akoigi mayam leibase asizu akoina ikhalani and then evaluating the options and examining whether the adolescent possess the essential and desirable support for pursuing them aduga hojiki masana angangduna ikhalani we will be listing out the strengths and weaknesses job options mayam se lay stock torani to matungda he will be looking up ko whether the essential and desirable support for person aduga huziki mana career lokhatning bado adudo ma se support phajana mapung fana phangba ngamgadra ngamoida ko paisa yam changba profession la oidabra haise khanba ngamdoini ko and then attending career talks to gain wider knowledge is in akona career guidance harisi ko azuki adolescents in a career guidance kumba yam yaw taragadi what will happen they will more career guidance ka yana yaw taragadi they will getting more information kwa mioiba mana ngangthoibase atopa ngangthobase manade kwa kenabai matungina hojiki knowledge mayam se collect tor doini kwa yamna hojiki career guidance mayam se yawa kanda information mayam pira ibudo it will be expanded adu itaragadi information se mapung fana adequate amount of information say it will be at the hand of the adolescents and then attending lectures organized by school counseling sections ko school na zu marakta career guidance orgadra marakta awareness mayam su pi ko si da zu angang sine yausan ba ko and then interacting with people in the field of choice akoi gi strength capacity akoi gi interest mayam se akoi khangba matung de ke dawi akoi na passionate oizaba line sida ke dawi specialist oriba natraga hojiki field gi related ta thabak suriba mi sing se akoi na ke dawi moi ga tanaraga ko adudigi akoi gi interest mayam se akoi na muka mol to ba ngamdoi. Okay, so career, it is an important task which is to be taken up by the adolescents. So choosing of the right career, it is a very challenging step to be taken up by the adolescents because if you choose the right career, you'll be satisfied through all your life. But if you choose the wrong career, it will create a hamper sensation to your mind ko akoi thabak suzaraga su pain daba leibado adu ahekta pharak toini ko so choosing of career it is in the hand of the adolescents as well as it is in the hand of the parents and the support given by the teachers ko magi environment relatives orgasi mayam sina support awu amani but the main factor is it depends on the hand of the adolescents. So next, after choosing the career, after getting a job, what happened? The adolescents, he will go through the next phase of life. He will be having the thought of getting married and establishing a family life. So since everyone have to go through this marriage and family life cycle, what happened? One needs to be informed at the right time. Adolescent stage manung sida, when they are given the right family life education, what will happen? Every individual, nupi macha ogadra, nupa macha ogadra, masagi responsibility khangani, and they will be able to know what to expect from their partner. Now, in this scenario, akoina yengakanda akoigi society da yengakanda domestic violence and the high rate of getting divorce is increasing kaigino hakanda since we are not educated with the right family life education se akoina takpi tambidabadagi awareness laitabadagi kedawi we are expecting more from the partner than from oneself ko mi na tawada ba sugadaba mayam se akoina khangaga isa gi duty responsibility se khangtaba adudi muknaraga adudagi family violence mayam se thola ini ko domestic violence. So family life education, it is a very important thing which needs to be educated to the adolescents at the right time with the relevant information. Okay, and then family life education, it helps in the development of values and concepts that contribute to a successful marriage and happy life. Adigo ziki successful marriage, successful family life lariba missing si kanda kedawi kanda maram se kaigyo why are they successful? Maram se tigalakanda kedawi both the partners they are well informed. Beforehand they inform patsana tobiba. Before taking up the steps, they are well informed. Since mas pazana information pirabanina kedawi, they are well equipped with the knowledge ko. Aduga mo masama-masagi responsibility, aduga masama-masagi duty kangani, and then what happened? They will be able to compromise. Even between the partners, what the husband thinks and what the wife thinks, it will be different. Ado sidadi akona family life education se pazana tapi tambirakanda they will be able to compromise a sense of acceptance. And then family life they will be able to practice the right way of child rearing. Okay, all this will be creating a good environment, a congenial environment for the husband, for the wife, as well as for the children. Okay, and then the role of parents and teachers for family life education is of great significance. Aduga adolescent stage harise. Adolescent stage sida akoy na educations akoy butapi tambiri base kanano har kanda from family it is the parents and the elders, and in school it is the teachers. So the parents, the elders, and the teachers, they have a great responsibility in educating the adolescents related to family life education. And then the study of health hygiene, anatomy, and physiology of human reproduction leaves no scope for misconception regarding sex and sexuality. Okay, so many problem arises because of the sex and sexuality. Okay, because we are not well informed, or we are not given the right adequate information regarding sex education. PD ko akoy gisi awareness kemta leite aduna kedawi that it creates a very various misconception. And then akoy gi health hygiene ko luna nana leba ko akoy gi anatomy ni body structure, and then the physiology of human reproduction akoy na subunit unit 1 subunit 1 da tami way human reproduction sida nupi macha nupa macha girls boys huziki puberty stage sida magi sexual secondary sexual characteristic mayam develop tawa si mayam se miyoba kuting magse they need to know the various changes which is undergone by the girl child as well as the boy child, so that no hindrance or no misconception arises out of this. Okay, and then it imbibes a sense of responsibility as it regards the acceptable limits in the level of interaction between the sexes. Marriage, relating to family life, say education, say awareness, say adolescence, they will be already informed, and when it is the right time for them to establish a family, they will be having a sense of responsibility, and then they will be able to have the limit, masamsagi limit sa boundary cross to na magtuini. And then when we are provided the sex education, what happened? It will be relationship between the husband and the wife, it will be improved. The relationship between the family members, it will also be improved. Okay, so information regarding marriage and family life, it should not be given information only at the moment the adolescent stage manung sila tap na awareness tap na pira kanda, and then when they become mature, they are able to think to the maximum, they are able to think what is right and wrong, they will be a successful human being. Okay, with this we come to the end of subunit 2. Thank you.